Hey everybody, this is Carla Boston with TBA Tax Group for the Boston Agency LLC. What I wanted to do real quick, just to kind of give you guys a heads up, for those of you who missed the workshop, there were several things that we went over in the workshop, but the most important thing that's going to make the biggest difference is the unemployment. So I want to show you guys this real quick before we do anything else with the presentation. Let's go to a tax return. This is a mock tax return for John Doe. This is John Doe. And so I'm going to show you guys what the difference will be with the unemployment income versus the W-2 income versus the self-employment income. So this is the issue that a lot of you are going to have. Say, for instance, John Doe is, say, head of household. And we'll say John Doe has 2 dependents. John Doe Jr. and little Jane Doe. All right, and say, for instance, on a W-2, John Doe made $15,000 worth of income on a W-2 and paid 0 in federal taxes withheld. So we're just going to say 0, just for the example's sake. I'm going to hit refresh. This is the refund here. This is what John Doe's refund would have been, $7,703. As for 2 dependents on $15,000 worth of income, with 0 being paid in for federal withholdings. Now, there were taxes taken out, which were Social Security taxes and Medicare taxes, which are called FICA taxes. You cannot get around that, except for the payroll tax cut that Donald Trump did for this last quarter of the year, which I don't have time to go into that right now. But anyway, so let's switch the scenario. Say, for instance, John Doe worked in 2020 from January to March. Due to coronavirus, his job got cut off and he had to, get unemployment. And so on W-2, on the job he worked from January to March, he made $3,000. All right, still paid 0 in for federal taxes withheld. And then we'll say he also received unemployment for, let's say, the $12,000 to give you the $15,000 total. Well, you still have the $15,000 worth of income total, but John Doe, with those 2 dependents on his tax return, the refund drops from $7,700 to $1,285, which is a huge difference. And the reason why is because unemployment income is only considered, it's not considered earned income. Another thing I wanted to point out on the 1040, a lot of people think that or thought that when the tax laws changed for 2018, tax year 2018, that the $2,000 that you get per dependent was all refundable. Well, that actually is not true. The whole $2,000 is not refundable. And so let's look at this real quick. And it's also based on income. So the child tax credit that John Doe received for those 2 dependents on that $3,000 W-2, because that's the only income that is qualified for any of the credits. Out of those 2 dependents, he only got $75 worth of child tax credit for those 2 dependents. And earned income credit, he got $1,210 for earned income credit for those 2 dependents, even though he filed head of household and his total income equals $15,000. We have some people will say, well, I paid taxes on my unemployment. Does that help? Well, let me show you this. So you paid out of that $1,200 worth of federal withholdings out of your unemployment. That means you just get that $12,000 back on your refund. And that's the only difference that it makes. And so a lot of you are going to be in really bad situations because and of course, it's not your fault. You had to take the unemployment because you didn't have any way else to pay your bills and you qualify for unemployment. But what does that mean for me? How does that help? How can I, offset that? I'm not getting unemployment anymore. I really would like to, have some help, things like that. This is what I partnered with the IRS and I asked questions and I came up with a solution. So TBA Tax Group or TBA Tax Group is partnered with TBA Payroll Tax Solutions or Payroll Solutions, which is a payroll company that we created to help in this particular situation. So let's get rid of all of this. Let's just delete that. and we'll delete the W-2 for now. All right, say for example, during this hard time, you were either selling t-shirts, you were babysitting mom, you were doing hair, you were, getting odds and end jobs, and you were getting paid cash. Well, you don't have any way to prove that because you don't have a business account set up or any payroll coming out because you're just paying yourself, cash or whatever. You're getting paid cash. Well, you can actually run your cash that you've earned through TBA payroll solutions. For example, say you made $8,000 for the year doing your business on the side and things like that. We would set up an account with you with TBA payroll solutions. You run that $8,000 through the payroll system, and this is what happens in that scenario. Say, for instance, say, hey, I made $8,000 and I need to get payroll taxes taken out of it. We would actually put it in the system, and this is how much you would have to pay in payroll taxes. Even if you didn't want to have anything taken out federally, you have to pay Social Security taxes and Medicare taxes. So the cost to you would be $496 plus $116, $612 to run the $8,000 through our payroll system. And that could be done for this last quarter. If you need to go back from previous quarters, say the first quarter of the year, January of this, first year or whatever, because you didn't know you could do it. For those of you who do hair, you have salons, you have my barbershop owners, you have my landscapers, you have my contractors, my truck drivers, even my 1099 employees. The biggest issue that most of you even have, besides this issue with the taxes, is that when it's time to buy, items and things like that, like get credit for to buy a car, buy a house, you have so much trouble because you have to actually show your tax return because you're considered self-employed. And with all of the write-offs and expenses and things like that, and let's just be honest, some of you don't even include all of the money that you make on your tax return to try to avoid paying taxes, which I don't advise that, but some people do that. And so my suggestion would be to, add all of your income, include your income, because what you can do, say for instance, you're one of my contractors and you make $100,000 for the year annually normally, but you have about $40,000 worth of expenses. And so what that means for you, all right, so you made $100,000 for the year. You still have those two dependents, $100,000 for the year, and you have about $40,000 worth of expenses. Let me go down here. $40,000 worth of expenses. That means then your adjusted gross income would be $55,761, and you would still owe $8,958 because when you're self-employed like that, there's a self-employment tax that you have to pay on this amount of money. Your self-employment tax, where is my self-employment tax real quick? Trying to find what line is that. I can't see it. Oh, here we go. $8,478. That's the self-employment tax on the income that you're claiming. But say, for instance, you talked with one of us or whatever, and we consulted you and said, hey, let's run some of that money through the payroll system, and you actually pay yourself a salary. That means we would run $50,000 through TBA payroll solutions and say, hey, you know what? Let's take about, let's say maybe 5% of that and put towards federal taxes. And so that would be $27.50 that you paid for federal taxes. So that means when it moves to a W-2, you'll get a W-2 from us at the end of the year. Then that means you actually paid yourself wages. So that $55,000 comes off of the Schedule C. And you'll actually end up getting a refund instead of having to pay so much money in. So I hope that makes sense in a nutshell. So it actually just helps to actually use TBA payroll solutions. What we'll do, we actually look at how much you made for the year, and then we'll kind of see what the threshold is. Because what happens is, because John Doe paid himself in this scenario, paid him out of $100,000, paid himself $55,000 of W-2 income. Instead of him having to use his tax return or things like that to show his income, he actually gets a check stub every week, every 2 weeks, however he sets it up with TBA Payroll Solutions, and he can actually use his check stubs to go and have buying power. And so even if he had more expenses than $40,000, it wouldn't matter because he actually has $55,000 worth of W-2 approval income that he can use for buying power, and whatever expenses he has that actually goes toward the business. And so it's a win-win. He actually, and then he's building up Social Security because you have Social Security coming out of your payroll that you're doing. So that's an idea for some of you. But the main thing I wanted to touch on was the unemployment. If you don't change it, or if you don't have anything done or use TBA Payroll Solutions before the end of this year is up, I won't be able to help. And your refunds will drop drastically. And so if you have any questions, please email us at tbataxgroup@gmail.com. And because everybody's scenario, everybody's situation is different. So I'm not, in this particular video, I'm not giving any type of advice. I'm just kind of giving out information right now. So if you want to, contact me and kind of see what your scenario calls for, if you need any help with that, just, shoot us an email. We'll see if we can help. Also, I wanted to point out that this year it's going to be a little different. We will still have our home office and Meridian location open this year, but we're going 100% virtual as well. You can actually get your taxes prepared 100% virtually if you would like to. Some of you guys still want to come in the office, and that's fine. The office will still be open. But for those of you who want to kind of stay safe from the coronavirus, don't want to wait in long lines and get your taxes prepared, or if you tried this last year and it took too long because, we were so slam-packed busy, we have a solution for that as well. So we're 100% virtual, and this is how the virtual part of it works. You download the TaxPass app. This is what it looks like. So you go to your Google Play Store or your Apple Store, and you download the TaxPass app on any of your smart devices or whatever, and then you use the QR code of the mobile app ID to register on the TaxPass app. And each location has its own separate QR code. We have Meridian office, you have the Philadelphia location, the Jackson, Mississippi location, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, Jacksonville, Florida, Lansing, Michigan, Albany, Georgia, Corpus Christi, Texas. I think I'm forgetting somebody, but you get the point. We have different locations, but each location has its own separate QR code. So make sure when you're putting a QR code in, it goes to one of those offices that you're looking for. And once you register with the QR code or the mobile app ID, you enter your information in securely. You can either scan the back of your ID and it automatically populates all of your information for you from your ID, or you can actually, manually type in each little field there. Once you get all your information in there, instead of you actually typing in all your W-2 information, all you do is upload photos. You take a picture with your phone or whatever smart device you're using, take a picture of your W-2, your driver's license, social security card, whatever, take a picture of everything, and it automatically uploads to my computer. After you click submit, within an hour of your submission, hopefully before an hour, but no longer than an hour of your submission, one of the agents will call you to get everything situated with you. And if you're ready to get your taxes prepared at that moment, if you want me to prepare your taxes, they will set you up on a virtual call where we can actually set it up virtually through Zoom or whatever other avenues we're using. And we say, hey, to each other virtually, give each other virtual hugs and everything, and get your taxes prepared, and you're done. Once I'm finished, I send you a link to your phone or your smart device. You click on the link, verify everything, you sign your documents from your phone or your smart device. And after I get the signature back, you get an email with your password protected tax documents in it, and you are completely done. Super duper easy and simple. Well, what if I want to advance and I don't want to, and I don't have a, I want the card or whatever? Well, this is how that works. It's super duper simple. You can get your taxes done from anywhere. You could be in the bathroom getting your taxes done. You could be getting your hair done, your nails done. You could be at work. You could be wherever you want to be to get your taxes done. It doesn't really matter. We want you to stay safe during this pandemic. I want to stay safe during the pandemic. And if you want to avoid long lines, this is a very good option for you. You can get your advance and your refund sent direct deposit if you want to. Or you can have it, a check, or you can pick it up from the office so we can overnight it to you. Or the same thing with the money card. You could either pick your money card up from the office or we can have it mailed directly to you. Each location will have money cards and the option to print checks. So you can pick your checks up or your cards up at that location the same day if you wanted to. If we're not in an area where you are, we will send it off to you overnight, no cost to you at all. You can also get free estimates if you're saying, I want to see what they're about, I want to try them out. We do estimates for free. So you could also upload, if you don't want to upload all of your stuff, you can actually just download the TaxPass app, put, whatever information is up to your phone number and things like that. And then whenever the agent calls you within an hour of submission, you just say, hey, I want a free estimate, and then we'll still get everything taken care of for you. All of my clients who get their taxes prepared with us this year will receive free credit repair. And this year, the credit repair starts the exact same day that you file your taxes. As soon as you file your taxes and everything is done and everything is submitted, we prompt you to do the application for the credit repair. And as soon as the application is submitted for credit repair, the agent that's doing the credit repair will actually contact you right then and start working on your credit as soon as you file your taxes. So that's how that works. Our home office address is on the screen here, 721 Front Street, extension suite 760 in Meridian, Mississippi, 39301. This is our email address here, tbataxgroup@gmail.com. And then, of course, this is the website, TBA, theboston.com. That's our website. You can go there if you have any questions. The QR codes will be posted on the website sometime this week. So if you want to go ahead and download the TaxPass app in advance and start getting your stuff uploaded in advance, that's perfectly fine. We start processing tax return. Well, we start preparing taxes on January 2nd. That's when the advance of your refund starts. You can get up to $6,000 of your money up front within the same day that you file. And that starts January 2nd. So if you want to, because you guys know how busy I get at the beginning, you can go ahead and download the TaxPass app early, especially you self-employed people who already have your income, your years done for the whole year already. If you want to go ahead and start sending your stuff in early to get your taxes prepared early, you can do that as well. If you're not waiting on any forms or anything like that, then that's perfectly fine. You can get that done. So if you have any questions, just email me, tbataxgroup@gmail.com, and I'll try to answer as many questions as possible. I will try to do a Facebook Live post sometime this week as well to take questions. So look for that. I'll probably do that from my personal page since it'll reach more people quicker. So if you aren't friends with me already on Facebook, then go ahead and try to do that. If not, if I feel like it's going to be a problem, then I'll actually just go live from the Boston Agency Facebook page. So if you're not already, if you haven't liked that page already, go ahead and like that page on Facebook, TBA, the Boston Agency, and get ready for that live so you can ask questions and things like that. I think that's it. That's all I want to cover right now. If you have any questions, again, just email me, guys. I hope that helped. I'll try to do a couple more videos where you can actually see my screen and, get some things done. So if you have anything that you want me to show on the screen to kind of get some scenarios, just email them to me and I'll do the scenarios and post them for you. All right. I think that's it. All right. Looking forward to talking to you guys soon. Love you guys. Bye.